Research Effectiveness of Dashboard by Martin Krause and Eric Orvis. This is an overview of our entire dashboard project. We have our introduction, materials and methods used, results, conclusions, and then acknowledgements. For our introduction, we were given a set of data based on Hubway, a company that sold bikes. And with that, we analyzed it and created dashboards. And we interviewed two individuals with business experience. We asked them questions regarding their interpretations of the data shown on the dashboard. Interviewee 1 is an accountant for a firm located in Maryland, and her name was Olga Marriott. And with her results, the interviewee was easily able to interpret all the 6 charts on the dashboard. When asked to identify each of the 6 charts, the interviewee could describe what was in each chart. The interviewee thought the most important chart was the duration versus gender percentage usage, because of the large amount of data on one Pareto chart. The interviewee said the chart of least importance was the 10% increase chart of registered subscriptions, because of the limited amount of data on it. Interviewee 2 is a high school business teacher in Iowa. Her name is Ashley Orvis. The interviewee was asked 6 questions also about the dashboard. The interviewer was easily able to look at my graphs and understand what they were saying based on data provided. When asked which chart seemed to be the most important one for a company, they answered that the total of registered /casual subscriptions by year, because it shows the total of all the subscriptions, and it also had a trend line that showed the data forecasted into the future. When asked about what chart was the least important, the interviewee answered the 5% increase of female writers. They said this because it shows future subscriptions instead of the current ones. Materials and methods we used were a mobile phone device app called Voice Recorder to record our interviews with our certain individuals, and then we asked a series of questions related to our Hubway dashboard. And overall, for a conclusion, both interviewees were able to interpret our graphs in the correct ways. All of the data was easily understood, and it's important to realize the significance of labeling your graphs correctly and how that can affect how people view your data. This is my dashboard with all 6 charts that I used. My first chart is casual versus registered subscriptions. And with this chart, I also included a slicer. This is a benefit because it gives them a year-by-year look of how the different types of subscriptions are affecting the company. My second chart is total registered subscriptions by gender. And this just shows them their gender base and who they have more buying their bikes, which is a benefit because it'll let them know who to market to, who to sell their bikes to, stuff like that. My third chart is total of registered /casual subscriptions by year. And with this chart, I also included a linear trend line, which is a benefit because it forecasts the subscription types into the future, so they're able to see where they're at and where they'll be going, which will help them with planning, all that kind of stuff. My fourth chart is a Pareto chart, which is male/female versus the unregistered total. And if you look at it, you can basically analyze all the data and see how the female total, the male total, and the registered total are affecting the bases. My fifth chart is a 5% increase of female writers, and I show the regular registered casual female subscriptions, and then I add the 5% increase. And they can see this to use for planning purposes and stuff like that. My sixth chart is the sum of duration of the total rentals, and this is just important for them to see because they'll know how long their bikes are being rented, which months are doing better and all, which is important for them all to understand. This is the chart that me and my interviewee both agreed to be the best chart. As I said earlier, it's the best chart because it shows a future trend line of where the total of the registered and casual subscriptions will be heading, which basically is important for the company to know and use for planning purposes to see which one's doing better than the other and how that's affecting their company.